Amidst the fast-changing world, our mission remains, communicating the message of Jesus Christ's unchanging love for all to hear. To share with us the latest updates on the work of Far East Broadcasting Company Philippines, along with stories of real lives transformed through faith in God, let us welcome Dan Andrew Cura here on The President's Report.
I always think of Hebrews 11, I think it is, where the scriptures that talk about the heroes of the faith in those days, and I think there should have been one written for today, because there are many people that would be mentioned in that, and I think of Livingston and of Stanley and of Hudson Taylor in China, and I feel that for sure Bob would have been included in that list of heroes of the faith.
That was Dan Hallam in 2014 when he shared his recollections upon the passing of his close friend and ministry partner, FEBC founder Robert "Bob" Bowman. A couple of weeks ago, we received the sad news that Dan Hallam, the last remaining founding father of FEB Canada, also went home to be with the Lord on January the 25th at the age of 98, according to his family. But knowing his lifetime of faithful service to the Lord, we find comfort in what Jesus said in John 11, verses 25 to 26. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. About 5 years ago, Dan endured a stroke, but even in his advanced years, he still welcomed updates from FEBC fields from around the world through letters and issues of FEBC's corporate newsletters, with renewed interest and appreciation every single time. As one of the founding fathers of FEB Canada, Dan Hallam is certainly one of the key persons in the history of Far East Broadcasting Company. FEB Canada plays a vital role in FEBC's international ministries. As a support country, the FEB Canada team, with the help of their ministry partners, supply prayer, financial assistance, equipment, staffing, and program production for the missionary radio stations around the world. As a matter of fact, FEB Canada continues to support our radio station in South Cotabato, 1062 DXKI AM. Today, do join me as we turn the pages of history in remembrance of the life and legacy of Dan Hallam in his service to the Lord through the ministry of FEBC in the country of Canada. I am your friend Dan Andrew, and welcome to this episode of The President's Report. In 1953, 5 years after Far East Broadcasting Company, or FEBC, began broadcasting from the Philippines, FEBC founder Bob Bowman got in touch with his Canadian friends who are members of the Rock of Ages Quartet to help promote the work of FEBC in Canada. The Rock of Ages Quartet is a Vancouver-based musical group composed of Gordon Brand, Ernest Enns, Arthur Uren, and Dan Hallam, with pianist Rowley Hill. During that time, the quartet was well known in Western Canada for its missionary musicals and radio broadcast, enabling them to quickly establish a following in churches across the country. As the promotional efforts in Canada grew, so did the number of Christians who became aware of the missionary radio work called FEBC. In 1964, Rock of Ages Quartet member Gordon Brand was appointed as the first board chairman of the Far East Broadcasting Associates of Canada, or FEB Canada, which was then incorporated as a non-profit charitable organization. Then, 9 years later in 1973, Dan Hallam